Hi, this is Jason Lovell with Lake State Mortgage. I put a video out about the steps to buying a house, and a lot of people have asked me about details on each step. So what I decided I'm going to do is I'm going to break down each one for you so that you know exactly what myself and what the lenders are looking for to get you into a house. And the first step is to get you pre-approved. And that means we are either going to sit down or you're going to call me over the phone and I'm going to ask you a series of questions. Just like if you applied for a car loan or a credit card, I'm looking for your name, your address, your birth date, your social security number, where you live, how long you've lived there, where you work, how long you've worked there, and how much you make. Okay? There's going to be some other questions too, but that kind of gives you the idea of it. All right? With that information, what I'm able to do is request a copy of your credit report. And that's going to tell me how long you've had credit, what accounts that you had, and your payment history, but it's also going to tell me what your credit score is as well from all three repositories, okay? And that is what the lender is looking for to see how your payment history is, all right? And with that, I can go through and decide which program is going to be best for you and which one's going to give you the best overall deal over the lifetime of your loan, all right? Now, Lake State Mortgage does not charge a fee for you to be pre-approved. There are other companies out there that do, and honestly, that's just a way for them to rope you in so that you don't go to another company. We don't do that. We feel that we do a good enough job that we don't have to charge that, okay? So once I have the information, I've got the program set up and I say, hey, Mr. and Mrs. Smith, guess what? This looks perfect, okay? And we're gonna sit down to actually fill out what they call the actual application itself, and we're gonna sign some documents. Now, some people ask me too, well, Jason, what if I haven't worked at my job for 2 years? Because that's what lenders are looking for, is a 2-year work history. Well, then we need to see what you've done in the past, okay? Whether you went to school, whether you stayed home, whether you were self-employed. You know, some people also ask me too, well, Jason, what do I do if I don't have a credit score? That's okay too. I work with customers with different backgrounds, different credit histories, different income levels. That's my job, that's what I do. So regardless of your history, anything like that, you give me a call and I'm gonna work through to see what it takes to get you into buying a house. If you've had some credit issues in the past, I'm gonna work with you to say, well, this is what we need to do to get you to that process. I don't repair credit, I don't fix credit. All I'm gonna do is be a resource to you to show you what we think that you need to do to get you into buying a house, okay? So when we get to the point where we say, yep, everything looks good, we're going to sit down and we're going to sign the preliminary papers, okay? And this is what they call the actual application, all right? Now, with that, I'm going to need you to bring in items to prove to me and to prove to the lender what we disclosed on the actual application. Now, there's a lot of things that can go on this. It depends on everything that we gather in your actual application. But some of the basic things here are going to be some of the things that I wrote down. First thing is going to be pay stubs. Okay, we need a full month's worth of pay stubs. So if you get paid every week, I need the last 4. If you get paid every 2 weeks, I need the last 2. All right, and we're going to look for year-to-date income, how long you've been there, what your pay amount is to make sure that we can meet the amount that was disclosed on the application. Then we're going to need W-2s for the last 2 years or 1099s depending upon how you get paid. Okay, so this is going to prove the 2-year history to the lender to say, yep, we can show that this is the average of what they're going to make, all right? And then we need bank statements. And the reason we need bank statements is because they want to look at your history to make sure you have a savings pattern, also to see what you have in the bank, and to see they want to do is what they source the money that is in there to make sure it's been in there for at least 60 days. So if mom and dad gave you a present and says, hey, here's $5 grand, we want you to go buy a house, we have to prove where that came from. But after 60 days, the lenders say, this is your money, it's been in there. So that's why we need 2 months, is to get that 60-day history, okay? Now, we also have people that have 401ks, they have IRAs, they have CDs, they have retirement accounts. So we're gonna get a copy of those too. And this will also help show a savings pattern to the lender, and as well that if anything happened in that, while you have that house, if you had to, you could tap these accounts in order to pay that. What it does is it shows good faith to the lender that you are able to have something to fall back on in case anything happens, okay? It lowers the risk of the loan, and that is what underwriters are looking for. They're looking to lower the risk of that loan to the lender, okay, for you and the lender as well. Now, if you are self-employed, you own your own business, you're 1099, what's going to happen is I'm going to need a copy of your tax returns for the last 2 years. I need every single schedule you fill out and everything. And what that's going to do is it's going to show us what your income is, how much you wrote off, and we can also add back in some of the things that you wrote off as well, like depreciation and some other items like that. It's a huge list. So, but that's what we're going to need in order to prove that self-employed income. Now, if you are self-employed, you're going to need to be self-employed for at least 2 years. So again, they have that average to show exactly what your income is. Now, some people are retired, some people are on disability, some people get Social Security, some people get all types of income. This is what we're going to need. If you have Social Security income or a disability income, you're going to have an awards letter that they send you every year to show you that this is how much you're going to make. All right, so we will need those to also show, to prove that income. All right, now this is just a basic list of items that we'll need. Okay, there are other items that we might need. If you have had credit issues in the past, we will need to sit down together to write up some letters of explanation to show what happened, why it happened, and to prove that it's not going to happen again. All right. Now, some people also tell me, well, Jason, I pay child support. Okay, well, we're going to get copies of that to prove exactly how much you pay, because that is listed as a debt. And some people say, well, I received child support. No problem. As long as you've received it for at least 3 months and we can prove that, and it's going to continue for the next 3 years, we can add that in there. There's alimony, there's separate maintenance, a bunch of different things that you can get. I have people that have adopted children, they get foster care income. As long as we can document that income and that it's going to continue, then we can use it. That's not an issue at all, okay? Now, I know that I've covered a lot of information, and believe it or not, this isn't all of it. There's so much that goes into the application and the pre-approval process. That's why you're going to call an expert like me to get this taken care of, because I do this every day and this is my job, okay? My goal is to get you out of your current situation and get you into the house that you want to buy. Thank you very much for taking the time to watch this video on the application and pre-approval process. Make sure you click subscribe so that you don't miss out on the next steps that I go over in the home buying process. Okay? This is Jason Lovell with Lake State Mortgage. I invite you to share this video if you found it helpful and think that it can help somebody. Again, my phone number, if you have any questions at all, 616-862-3807. My phone is always on and I answer it. Thank you again.